At Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media. Living out the Zionist dream. I have been at Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media. Living out the Zionist dream. I have been at Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media. Living out the Zionist dream. I have been at Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media. Living out the Zionist dream. I have been at Meta for almost 9 years. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media. Living out the Zionist dream.
Hello there, English speakers, and welcome. Today we'll talk a little bit about some news and some old trees. And this is a not so old Scots pine, and there is a goat willow and some Thai massage behind it. But let's start by taking a big deep breath. And these are of course silver birches and not anything else. And first of all, great thank you for your founding subscription to my Substack. That really helps. If I can only get a few more of those, I could stop worrying about, well, everything. I don't need a fortune to do this, but it would be nice to have a place to live and food, basically. The Brown University shooting. It's really weird. Where is the footage? Where is, well, anything? And the ones who were seeing this shooting, they said that it was unclear what was said, and it was just very confusing. They seem to say that Ella Cook was the one who was targeted, and she was one of the two dead, and she was the colleague Republican president of their organization there. So maybe a false flag, but maybe just someone who wants to murder Republicans, because that's what they do on these Ivy League universities. That seems to be the center of criminal gangs and brainwashing of the far left. But Don Bongino, the vice head of FBI, he is stepping down in January. He looks like he didn't want to lie, and then he couldn't do his job. That's the impression that I got, and that people who are actually better at, well, knowing Don Bongino than me. I don't know much about him, but yeah, it looked like the corruption and the evil in FBI. FBI must be run by some evil mafia that is running it in a way that, well, is just undercover, and no one can actually figure out exactly who are the ones who are handling this mafia. That is my best guess. So stay away from FBI unless you have a really good plan to start taking care of everyone. If you arrest one of them, the other ones will make sure that you don't live long, even if you are the head of FBI. That the head of FBI, Kash Patel, he doesn't seem to care too much about that he has to lie about a lot. He can take the FBI jet and look at his girlfriend singing and stuff, so he likes that. And he lives in a big mansion together with some suspicious people. That's all wise thing I have to say about that. I think the wisest thing is that it's weird that we don't know anything here. Me Meta, that is Facebook and Instagram, they are very happy to ban you for all sorts of reasons and just kick you out. But here is the trick. If you are a Chinese scammer, then it's okay. As long as you pay them money, then you can run your ads for gamblings and for basically scams and porn and whatever. Just be a Chinese scammer and then you don't risk getting banned from there, apparently. Google have catched up when it comes to AI. You know that they had totally woke, useless AI, and then their organization just didn't work. But now they have someone in charge that seems to be really good at his job. And someone here on X were saying that it's the three big now, Google, xAI and China, that have the determination and also, well, the competence and the capital to do the big thing. OpenAI and others are not really in the fight. So now you have to select here between the censorship that is woke from Google or Alphabet, or the censorship from the Chinese Communist Party, or you can use the AI that is run by thieves that charged me 4,230 crowns for 1 year subscription to a service they don't allow me to use. So which kind do you want? That seems to be the current sad state of affair. There are AIs that are not that bad. You have Gab AI, you have to pay to use it, I think, and uncensored AI, also free. It's free, not also. And Brave Search has an AI, and so does Yandex. So I tried it a little bit, but not for something, really hard, like asking them how can I contact and demand refunding and reinstating from x.com. Board of Deputies of British Jews. So that's some unlimited company, I guess. They think that it's very good that the satanic, oppressive, neo-Bolshevik government of UK are starting to arrest people for saying stuff like globalize the Intifada. They really want to be hated. If you want to be hated, do this censorship. And also, of course, you know that all the communist genocides, they start with censorship. They need to have that to continue. Maybe you saw an intro here from the Meta censorship Jew, and she says that they have been doing a great work taking away all content that says that Jews are censoring everything. So they are taking away everyone that are saying that they are doing exactly that. So that's how you do it, apparently. APAC Tracker is now known who it is, and it's Casey Kennedy, and he got fired for because the Jewish mafia told them to fire him. And the company is called AG Scientific, and it's a part of the Research Product International. So it's not, they are not selling to consumers, but I guess a lot of powerful institutions that maybe not in love with Israel could start to fight back. The good news is that Casey Kennedy now has a lot of time left over, so he can push more tracking of APAC. Israel is shocked, according to a video I looked at. So this is someone who is somewhat liking Tucker Carlson. So it's a little bit, he's more pro-Palestinian and pro-Syrian opposition to Assad, that is, but not pro-Israel. So it's an interesting perspective that I think is important to look at, so that you don't get stuck in between, loving Israel or hating Israel, and thinking that Assad must be really good. So I thought that was worth bringing up to enlighten our blind spots. I do not trust this idea that Assad should have murdered thousands of Palestinians. There is more to this story, and this comes from the Syrian Network for Human Rights. I will remind you that there was or is a Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. That one is an MI6 operation, and it's operated out from England. But this Network for the Syrian Network for Human Rights is an organization that is run from USA. It has a non-profit status there. It has been working together with Google, Microsoft, New York Times. They are bragging about that, but we don't know who are funding them. They had a budget of about $1 million per year, so it's not a huge organization. Maybe they have 8 people or something working for them, but they should disclose where the money comes from if they are a non-profit, one can think. A user called Lyth have come with some criticism against my criticism, so you should probably read that too. I am not informed enough to say who is wrong and right there. I just want to enlighten my own blind spots, and yours too, of course. What is clear is that Israel, they really do not want any kind of peace or stability in Syria. They want to bomb, destroy, and any kind of new stability there under the new leadership. They don't want that. They don't want people getting along. They definitely don't want any kind of, so-called democracy or wealth. They want to destroy everything. There is no way to make peace with the current regime of Israel, and they will not let anyone else take over Israel. It is, however, really bad for Trump. He looks like he's a total bitch to Netanyahu, and even though he's getting more and more displeased with the actions of Netanyahu, especially now when he wants to be tough and, bully around Venezuela, and Trump is also threatening new sanctions on Russia if they are not doing something, and he can't even stand up to Israel, and that makes Trump look like a weak joke, which is the last thing his entire administration and especially himself can't have. That will break his power, basically. So I think it's too early to say that something will snap and he will put Netanyahu in his place, which is, hell. But the tension is just going in one direction, because Netanyahu will push until he is killed. So that will go on. It is interesting to note, though, that Trump and Erdogan, they actually get along with each other. And that's weird. Putin despises Erdogan, but can, despite that, get deals with him that never works. And Erdogan is always breaking the deal, not totally, but as much as he can get away with, and behaving like a total ass. I think that Qatar and Azerbaijan are still okay with Erdogan. Everyone else, yeah, they are pissed at him, but they can't do anything. But thinking that Israel should actually be afraid of Turkey. Turkey is also infiltrated by Zionists, and yeah, I do not actually think they have something to fear yet. But as I said, the direction with Netanyahu being ever more unreasonable, that will just continue. So some fun arguments here. Anti-communist, one of those, then you know what it is. If it's an anti-communist, that's a kind of communist. But he did a great explanation here, about that Zionism. It's really windy, but the lake is totally clear. How is that happening? Must be an ice that I can't see. Otherwise it would have been wavy. So yeah, he explains that Zionism, that is actually rabies. It's a treason, rabies that is infecting their mind. So if you know someone and they are nice, honest person that you can trust, but if they are infected with Zionism, it's no longer they themselves. They have gotten this treasonous rabies. Of course, he was talking about so-called wokeness, but it's even worse to have Zionist rabies. Sad. And it's a way of, you get possessed by Satan, basically. Julian Assange is saying that the Nobel Peace Prize to Machado, the Venezuelan rebel, and that was against the Swedish laws. So that did get me confused. What has the Swedish law to do with the Nobel Peace Prize? It's handed out by Norway, but the Nobel Foundation, that is Swedish, and they have to follow Swedish laws when it comes to not give, according to the foundation laws, they have to not give any kind of Nobel Prize to someone who is an aggressor and doing, you know, evil stuff, like saying, please invade Venezuela and steal all their stuff. So the Nobel Peace Prize, that is handed out by a committee that is appointed by the Norwegian Parliament. But they should still follow Swedish laws, apparently. And of course, it's not Norway that is trying to invade and occupy Venezuela. It's CCP and their asset, Thor Halvorsen. And this Thor Halvorsen, he's a CCP asset, and he's a son of a Venezuelan aristocrat. So remember World War II? Germany didn't invade Norway nor Netherlands because they wanted to conquer. It was because these countries were filling up with UK military and spy assets. That's what they were after. And the build-up in Netherlands especially, that was a real threat to Germany. So that's why they, at least that's their excuse for invading Netherlands, and there are plenty of evidence for that. Protect the farmers. Remember that they are now under attack in France also, and everywhere. They really want control of the food. The mafia. So it's the lumpy skin disease. So this is a disease that makes your cows a little bit sick for a while, and you can still eat the meat and the milk from them. They will produce less, of course, but no problem. But instead they are starting to murder a lot of healthy cows also, because they want to control everything, and they have a great idea how they can control and get profits from the trade with South America, where they have just a new deal, so that they crush the local farmers, and then they have the big companies that they control with their mafia methods. So it's important to protect the farmers. They don't need support, they need protection from the government that hates us. They hate the farmers for that reason. The idea here is not to steal. It's easy to say, yeah, they want to make money, but the most important thing is to show who are in charge. And they do that by pushing vaccines, murdering children, making you sick and fearful. And if you think that you expose these people by telling you what I just told you, they want rebels to know that they are murdering children just to show who are in charge. So you should be really scared for them, unless you have better ways to convince the dumb masses. But yes, we have all reasons, unfortunately, to be scared for people who are sacrificing children to Moloch. So that's how they build their satanic power structure, by encouraging people to know about their conspiracies while they are lying to the masses. You can see this, how Israel is building up their propaganda by both bragging about their Gaza genocide and denying it. But they totally deny that Iran did a big hit on them. You might think that a country that is built on pity, that you have compassion for them, and then they actually get badly hurt. But they do not want you to feel sad about them for real crimes. No, they want to make you feel very sad about these 6 million lampshades and other invented crimes, like Hamas is ready to invade Europe or whatever. So they want everyone to feel pity for them for made up stuff, not for the real stuff, because then they look less powerful. Born again barbarian. I will warn you for that if you're a Catholic. But maybe if you are not scared, we can talk about King James, that wrote a book. He did make sure to translate the Bible, as you know, King James Bible. But in 1598, this very literate king, he wrote Demonology, the knowledge about, demon worshipping. And this was a book that was very against that practice, and he is skeptical of a lot of Catholic rituals, and drinking Jesus' blood and flesh seems weird or stuff. And he also points out USA's dollar, where you have a ring of power, and how this connects to J.R.R. Tolkien, who was a Catholic, and how this ring is the David Star, basically, and the occult ideas that are connected to that. I don't know if the dwarves were sort of Jews. They were in some ways, one can guess. But if you want to have a very interesting facts, at least, from this born again barbarian. I don't know about Jesus though. Are there anywhere you can bet? So you put in some $100 and every day you get $1 back if Jesus has not returned. Then I will bet on that, I guess. so I'm not a believer, even though I'm a supporter. For trees, you saw a little bit pine, but those Scots pines, they get really small cones, like this big. If you want to see a bigger cone, there is something called bunya pine that grows in southeast Australia and some other places on the south part of the planet in temperate rainforests. And it doesn't look much like a pine, but it's a different species. But 10 kilos, they are huge. They called them kegs, even, those cones. So impressive tree, and I had a follower on someone I follow on Substack that wants to plant some of them in Northern California. I really don't think they can stand the cold here, but at least it's very wet in some places, even though it doesn't rain much here. But there are even more determined tree huggers. What about sitting in a redwood tree for 738 days? Yes, that was a young lady that protected a redwood tree, and eventually she got enough donations, and the forest company decided that, yeah, if you give us the money, we can save the tree. So you can still see this huge redwood tree that she saved. So you can remember this Boniface, Saint Boniface. Saint Boniface chopped down an oak, he said. I think he would have only lasted one summer in Germania, and if she had been climbing up there, I guess you can't cut down an oak if there is a lady up in it. That would be very not saintly. So I think he would have lost that battle way faster than the forest company did. Marco Rubio, he is now posting a new profile image on X, and he is looking sad at a lamp. G.D. Vance apparently lost a bet, saying that Marco Rubio would not post that image that makes no sense whatsoever. I can explain the image though. So that is Marco Rubio. He's very sad about his mother's Barbie doll. So his mother's Barbie doll got her Barbie stolen by the communists on Cuba, and they turned the Barbie doll into a lampshade. So that's why he's paying respect to his mother's Barbie doll. So now you know that, and have a nice, wonderful Thursday. Don't forget to brag about you, all my amazing subscribers, especially you who are paying and spreading my message.